how to correctly do content research for a gaming channel. In this video, I will be talking about my own process that I use either for gaming channels or also business channels or stuff like that, but it works particularly well for gaming channels in order to come up with big ideas, which are video ideas you have to create that can be successful to actually grow your channel and create a consistent stream of revenue and followers. Okay, so now I don't know if this video is gonna be public or if it's gonna go into the membership. I think this video should be public in order to educate the vast majority of gamers possible in how you should actually look for content you can create or replicate. We are not looking for something you have to copy completely. We are just copy pasting that kind of content. We are looking for inspiration and to create something that is called a swipe file, which is basically a file you can resort to have references for ideas to create content. Okay. And for those who don't know me, because most probably this is going to be a public video, my name is Diego. I am a YouTube strategist, specifically specialized in the gaming niche. I work for ESL as a media strategist, and then I'm also a full-fledged marketer. Therefore, I have the competence to actually coach you on how to do market research, and in this particular case, content research for the gaming niche. So let's move to my my screen here, my right screen. Of course, I should not go for, I should use incognito mode. And this is gonna be my swipe file. Okay, so I'm gonna paste here stuff I'm looking for, stuff I'm coming up with, etc. So step 1, have a Google Doc as I have here. Step 2, open an incognito mode and go on YouTube. Now we're looking for content for a gaming channel. Okay, keep in mind, usually gaming channels are more tethered around one single game or maybe a particular kind of type of games. For example, first-person shooters, or let's say battle royale, etc. Let's start with something easy. I can make something about Pokemon, maybe. I can look for content about Pokemon. So how should I look for potential content I can create in the Pokemon niche? The first thing I usually do is just looking for the name of the game. Let's say Pokemon in the search bar. And then after I search for the search bar, maybe let's say Pokemon, because we have the anime as well. Let's say Pokemon. What is the last Pokemon game? Scarlet. And let's look for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And should be okay. Then I just set up a few filters. I'm looking for videos published in the last month. I'm looking for videos over 20 minutes because usually the longer the videos, the better. Also, they usually pay more. I try to either sort for view count or for upload date. Otherwise, I can look for 4 to 20 minutes. It just depends on the type of video I'm looking for. Now, just use view count. And then we can look for what has been published in the last month. So to give you an idea. Search the game name plus eventual modifiers. You can have modifiers in particular cases. For example, let's say Pokemon Nuzlocke, Minecraft speedruns, or game/speedrun, whatever you come up with. Modifiers are what you insert in the search query that changes or narrow down what you're looking for. Okay, to give you a perspective of what it is. Modifiers are optional, of course. Then I use filters. That is more than 20 min. Videos, of course. And last month or last week. Depends from the video I'm looking for. And then usually I sort by view count. That's it. And now I start to look for videos that are popular right now. So Wolfie Glick is an authority in this kind of channels. I'm gonna open the videos. Okay, Wolfie, Shady Penguin. Okay, that's advertising, Hunter Boy, whatever. I open those videos, and then when there is something that is interesting, for example, this is really interesting as a big idea. I hosted a bizarre Pokemon tournament. Of course, it's working because there is an external factor, which is being Wolfie. It's working because it's Wolfie. Maybe it could work even if you organized it. So the idea is cool. The title is okay. The thumbnail is okay, and the length is fine. I'm gonna copy and paste it here. It basically worked now. Okay, this is a good video. Why Pokemon's newest type? Oh, this was a good video. Okay. What is the best psychic type Pokemon? This is a good big idea. You can recycle in different games. Okay. Of course, what I'm taking note of big ideas mainly, so what is behind the video. And then I'm also looking for title and thumbnails, but the main thing I'm looking for is big ideas. And right now, what am I doing? I'm just taking out potential ideas to work on, and then later, since I'm training the algorithm to provide me only Pokemon content, since I'm in incognito mode, later I will just go to the homepage and refresh to find out more content that is pushed to the homepage. So this is just the first step. Okay. Choose the word starter and steal stats. This is a nice video. Okay. This is a cool video. Maybe it's there is some technical stuff you have to be able to do. From Shady Penguin. Okay. Then let's see. VG Day. I became a shiny electric gym leader. This is not bad. I saw different videos like that, but not with the shiny modifier. Like I've become a steel gym leader, stuff like that. Okay, let's put it here for now. Okay, so I'm creating this WIFI file right now. I'm looking for titles, thumbnails. You see, there is quite a sophistication in this niche. Pokemon is a quite sophisticated niche. And that's something you should consider, how much work you need. I turned Pokemon Scarlet. This is cool. Maybe not for Scarlet and Violet, but you can replicate it with different Pokemon games, for example, or different stuff. Then we have to watch the video, of course. Okay, this is a cool idea. Okay, this is not interesting. This is kind of interesting. This is super cool. I really like this kind of format, documentary videos. Okay, this is a list video, which is okay. I like the thumbnail here. Thumbnail is quite good. Can be easily replicated eventually. You can pay someone like $20 to do something like that. It's not really so expensive. The documentary format, something I would really dip into if you're trying to enter this niche, because Pokemon has a really strong community looking for trivia and stuff like that. And documentaries are really the meta game right now to give you a gaming perspective on content creation. Okay, never forget them. Then what do we have here? A commenter on the new format. A commenter on a strategy. The name is also good. This strategy has been dominating VGC, so it's a sub niche. We're talking about competitive Pokemon. Yeah, maybe I can take it. Of course, you have to know the niche to understand why it's so interesting for the whole audience. But yeah, aside from that, that's a video I can take and put in my swipe file. Okay, so we have some ideas here. We can go on and look for other stuff or insert modifier. Okay, huge meta ideate. Pokemon Violet, but can only use water type starters. I mean, this is quite common game, but I can only use X tool. Okay, this is something interesting. Yeah, I think we sort of find out everything. I mean, we are in the 30K range, so it's not so interesting anymore. But anyway, we can save it as well. So we have a few interesting ideas. We can create a lot of templates through that. For example, this one, I hosted a bizarre Pokemon tournament. It could be like I hosted a bizarre Pokemon contest or whatever game contest, etc. It will require quite a lot of organization on your part and quite a lot of resources. But that video, if it's edited as I know Wolfiglik is producing content, will be a banger, an absolute banger. It doesn't matter the game you're creating it in. For example, if you're into a super small niche game, you could host a speedrun tournament of that specific game and create the video in a way that is appealing to the general audience. That is something that usually works even for niche games. Okay. What is the best something in a game? The best, for example, it's a comparative video inside the same category. For example, if you're playing Monster Hunter, what is the best dual blade? Okay, stuff like that. If you're playing Call of Duty, what is the best rifle, the best machine gun, whatever. Choose the worst starter and still stats. Choose the worst something and a end effect. That's also something you can create a template for. I became a particular thing in game name. Okay. I turned game into something, a movie, a competition, a whatever. The X best stuff in game for particular subset of gamers, for example, documentary channels, documentary videos, fucking cool. Really love documentary videos. I'm so into documentary videos. I need to actually have a channel in my consulting that is creating only this kind of videos because I really love them. I really, really, really love them. Okay, this strategy has been dominating VGC. This something has been dominating X ladder, X ladder, Y ladder, whatever ladder. Game, but something. Okay, those are good templates that I saw worked in the past. Now, after I researched a few of those videos, what I usually do is look for the first 30 seconds to figure out the hook of the videos, starting with the biggest one and then descending. So let's start with this one. The hook is amazing. The introduction is fantastic. It gives you context. It entices you to watch longer the video, to watch more. This is something you should really aim for if you're trying to enter the Pokemon niche, or in every gaming niche, basically. So you can create a kind of template you can replicate, or you can get some takeaways from this kind of intro. This is something I would really recommend to. Okay, so Wolfie Greek absolutely promoted. Really a beast in producing content. Let's see this kind of content he creates. Okay, the here in the intro and generally in his editing style, there is a lot of transition. Like there is a change of scene, an element coming onto the screen every 3 to 4 seconds. So it's really trying to keep you glued to the screen, which is something I really appreciate. Of course, there is quite a creative effort. I know Wolfiglich has an actual team, if I remember correctly, working on his channel, so this is kind of expected from him. if you're trying to enter this niche with that kind of level of production, it's going to be a pain to do it by yourself, but you can do it. Of course, you will have to choose correctly what kind of videos to produce. Hmm. Okay, so basically this is a top 10 video with a cool introduction, with the right hook. He's giving you, as again, there is context, there is a reason to watch the video. The reason is provided to you, and there is also a narrative that unfolds, that is unfolded for you. This is how you should do a top 5, top 10, top whatever videos. Okay, that's cool. Okay, this is it. Choose your starter but swap their dex number. Okay, we already have some intel on how to create also hooks and intros for this kind of content types. Let's go over and then we can go back and watch and look for more content. Right now, what am I doing is first and foremost trying to understand how these niche hooks work, and then I'm training the incognito YouTube session to give me only Pokemon content in my homepage, and later you will find out why. That's a super cool idea for a challenge. I have to admit that they really cooked with that. Okay, as well, the editing is quite fast paced. The big idea underlying the video is quite good. They really thought about it, so that's interesting. That's something you can replicate most probably. Not in Pokemon only, you can replicate it in many niches, in many games as well. Okay, let's move to others. Okay, that's a challenge type video. It usually begins with a straightforward introduction of what the aim of the challenge is and the rules you have to abide to actually succeed in the challenge. That's something I really like, and that's how you should create challenge videos, by the way. There is the complete introduction on what a hardcore Nuzlocke is for viewers that don't really know what a hardcore Nuzlocke is. I wouldn't have phrased it like that because you are excluding all the users that are not really into Nuzlocke videos. They don't really know what a Nuzlocke is, therefore they can't look for it. And if they read Pokemon Scarlet Hardcore Nuzlocke, they don't really understand what you're talking about. But the thing is, since you're creating content in Pokemon, you're lucky because there is a lot of people that know what that stuff is about. Therefore, you can ignore my first rule, which is you have to create videos that the vast majority of people can appreciate, even if they are not hardcore. Since you have a hardcore base that is large enough, you have the market for this kind of videos. But as a general rule, you wouldn't, you should not create that kind of videos. Okay, it works because there is enough market for it. Usually, it wouldn't work if the game was a more niche game. Let's say, okay. In my opinion, if you titled it differently, maybe you will also catch casual users, and you will make much more views here. And the audio is okay. The explanation is okay. The hook is okay. I think this is a solid video. Okay, I mean that's not bad for a challenge video. That's basically a challenge video with a simple modifier using only x something. The pacing is quite um, concited. I mean, I like it. It's good. You are most probably it's gonna have a lot of views this video, and it's generating quite a lot of revenue because it's almost a hour-long video. And if the editing is the same throughout the video, you will be able to have quite a good audience retention. And you can also create several type of this video. You can replicate the same big idea over and over just by changing the modifier. For example, this is a change modifier. Can you beat Pokemon Scarlet using only dragon types? This is only ghost type, then there's gonna be only fighting types, only grass types, etc, etc, etc. Okay, so yeah, that's a good video. Now we analyzed some of that. If you have time, you should also take notes here as a general rule on the hook. Okay, hook and the intro notes. I'm not taking them because I'm trained. I can do it just by watching it. And of course, I'm not looking for, I'm not trying to enter this niche, therefore I don't need to. But you should take notes of what you're looking for. This is just an explainer video for you to understand how to correctly do research, of course. Therefore, you have to delve much deeper in research. I'm just showing the basics for you to actually implement it in your workflow. Then let's go to the home. I have YouTube in Italian, which is a problem, sort of. But anyway, as you see, the YouTube is suggesting me a English Pokemon content, which is good. I mean, the objective I was looking for has been reached. Now, what I have to do right now is noting every interesting idea I find here, which has quite a good amount of views compared to the release date of the video. For example, 100k views for 18 hours. I mean, that's not bad. I will save that if I was trying to enter this niche. The video length is also quite interesting. I prefer longer videos because to me they are the meta right now, but it can work also with shorter videos. The thumbnail is doable. You can replicate it. Maybe you can pay someone to do it. This is quite the usual. I opened X amount of packs of any existent card game. It's not so interesting. What is the best not fully evolved Pokemon? This is something you could be able to replicate in any niche, potentially. What is the best something subset of a niche? Which is something you already saw here. What is the best Psychic type Pokemon? And here is a variation of the same big idea. So we found should be the same big idea repeated over. Pokemon Mega Evolution only. Okay, that may be interesting. I think it's a... Is it a stream or not? Whatever, I'm saving it for now. Okay, I should watch that. What is that kind of video? I forgot the... There's the advertising. Okay. That's a good hook. That's a good big idea. Maybe the title is not so good. As I reiterate, the title is the video is working because you have a sufficient market for it to work by typing hardcore Nuzlocke. Otherwise, it wouldn't really work because the vast majority of people don't usually know custom game modes of particular games. Here, their market allows you to do that. In other niches, it does not. Therefore, you should know when and when not do it. Would you risk running for whatever? I created the most powerful Pokemon Fusion team. This is interesting. I created the X something something. That's a good idea. I can replicate. You see how much video ideas we've come up with, and we're just starting out. 4 days ago, 200k views. I mean, it's not bad. Okay, what can also water types? I already saw that. Pokemon but keep evolving 2 months ago. It's not bad. Game but something something. Point Crow is an institution in this kind of niche. Okay. I saw another video from Alpharat, which is quite good. Video ends when I name all 1025 Pokemon from memory. This is not bad. Video ends when I reach goal. Reach strange goal. This is something you could use. Then catch this for legendary ASAP. This is a update video, kind of, so not something I really like. But if you're into this kind of niche and into this kind of content, you should replicate that. I built working Pokeballs you can throw. Kinda. That's so fucking cool. Really love it. Of course, this is a kind of video you really should be able to replicate on it if you have the means. But if you are able to, it's gonna be a huge video if the execution of the content is okay. The big idea is amazing. I built something in real life. It's really good. I created the ultimate Pokemon team. They can cheat. Okay, that's also, I created the ultimate something, or I beat the hardest game ever created, or whatever ever created. Okay. I made Pokemon TCG Pocket cards in real life. That's so good. You see, that's the same big idea. Okay, creating something in real life. This is also something you could easily create. In fact, there is a lot of tutorials on how you can create TCG foil cards based on existing cards. So it will really, you're really able to easily replicate this kind of video. Props to him for creating the first kind of video I see here. I will create something like I recreated my whole TCG deck, TCG Pocket in real life. That's a possible iteration. And then I recreated my Pokemon TCG Pocket collection, for example. This is another iteration of the same concept. And then I will do the same for other games if it's possible. It's not always possible, of course, but that's a good idea. Okay, now I think I saw the vast majority of the content I was interested in. I just refresh, pressing F5, and here we are for another round. Okay, that's Italian, and you should avoid it. Can I just... No, I can't because I'm in incognito mode. I entered the tournament with one hit KO. That's so cool. Of course, it's working because Wolfie Glick is doing it, but you can create something similar. For example, I finished the game only with a normal type move or stuff like that. So challenge videos. It's an extreme challenge video, this kind of video, but the big idea is that. Okay, I played the mod finally tries to fix Pokemon Scarlet. That's a good video. Pokemon type matchups explained. This is kind of a good video as well. Something explained. The explainer videos is in the same category of the documentary videos, basically. The execution is quite similar. And it's a kind of video I really like. Then, let's see. No. Yes. That's so cool. Super. That's a challenge video, basically. A really hard challenge video. No. That's so cool. I simulated something to find out incredible discovery. Okay, we have a lot of big ideas here. Some of them are, of course, a different iteration of the same big idea. I tried beating Pokemon Sword only using shinies. This is the same big idea as this one, but with a different title, which basically is the same. Maybe what is changing is the presentation of the content, like the unfolding of the story they're telling. But yeah, aside from that, we have a lot of ideas. Where should I look for more ideas? Because maybe I wasn't able to find that much ideas. So I can look for in similar niches. For example, a continuous stream of inspiration for me is Minecraft. Minecraft is an endless stream of inspiration. Minecraft. I repeat the process by looking for Minecraft. Over 20 minutes. This week, in particular, view count. Okay, let's keep Mr. Beast. Cardboard bunker. Oh yeah, of course. Those are also kind of categorized as Minecraft, even though they aren't Minecraft. I said they have Pegasus into Minecraft. Okay, this is a challenge video. This is a challenge video. I could sort of replicate the ultimate Minecraft 100 days movie rematch. Okay, this video most probably is working because he is doing it, but maybe you can iterate it differently for the Pokemon niche. I collected every block in Minecraft. This is something you could create. I collected every Pokemon existent in Pokemon in third generation, for example, like how I completed the Pokedex. I know it exists, something like that. Okay, this is not something that exists. That's something that wouldn't work. I survived 100 days in the Purge in Minecraft. That's a kind of video you could recreate. I spent 100 days in Pokemon as a gym leader, for example, because there are, if I remember correctly, there are ROM hacks allowing you to do that. Using custom weapons in Minecraft, maybe you could create something like using custom moves or custom types in Pokemon. Let's say tutorial here. Yeah, it's a sponsored video also. That's okay. I think it's I think that's Spanish and should be like I entered into my subs words in Minecraft. I visited. You can do the same thing with, for example, with the save files of followers with Pokemon. Happy Gas update is here. Okay, Italian something versus something else. It's a kind of video that could work in Pokemon. You can reiterate over and over. Okay, I don't know if you can make something like that. Most probably yes, but I will have to think about it. Okay, that I don't think that could work. Not so interesting. Not so interesting. You could create if you have the capabilities, you will be able to create something similar in Pokemon, for example. Reborn as the Goddess Minecraft. No, I think this is role play. Yeah, I think so. That should look like a role play. That is a role play as well. Maybe you can create something with that video. I found out. Okay, this is something that you could find out. For example, I found a absurd glitch in Pokemon. Sometimes you can make something like that. It depends from the game. Of course, now I'm taking Pokemon as a reference and Minecraft as a reference, but you can create the same thing with any game you like. Most probably you can reiterate the same template in different games. Not so interesting, not so interesting. Okay. I cheated with a something particular condition in game. That's something that could work. Maybe I could save that. The thumbnail is quite good, honestly. Frankly speaking, I guess it's a good thumbnail. I will save that. Okay. So basically, that's it. That's how you make content research for a gaming channel. You have to reiterate this process over and over. You can then, when you established a list of videos potentially and found out different templates, you can populate those templates. So right now I have this kind of templates. Okay, let's go back here. I have, for example, found out Pokemon, but something modifier, for example, Pokemon, but Pokemon Scarlet, but I can only use female Pokemons, for example. Okay. Or then I finished Pokemon Leaf Green, for example, which is a different version of Pokemon, an old version of Pokemon, with only a modifier. When I say modifier, I'm saying like something that can be substituted to create another video with the same big idea, but a different iteration of the same video. Then what do we have here? Okay. We had a challenge here, like, where was it? Wolfie League. Okay, this is the first one. I hosted a bizarre Pokemon tournament. I hosted, for example, I hosted a Pokemon speed run with my friends, for example. That's something that could work. Of course, there's gonna be a funny element in it. Then let's see. Okay, for example, mythical Pokemon explained. Every mythical Pokemon explained. So modifier explained. Also, there is a template like in-depth analysis. Those are videos that work. Then the documentary. Let's try to. I made Pokemon TCG Pokemon in real life. For example, I made modifier in real life. For example, Puffins. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, Pokeblocks, Pokeballs, cards, etc. Then, okay, a challenge type video, craft video. Video ends when I observe complete condition or achievement. That's something I could create. What is the best? Okay. What is the best modifier? What is the best blank? Choose the worst / best blank and condition. Okay. What else do you find? I became modifier in game. Okay. I can use the game name, but I can only condition. Okay, to give you an idea, now I'm just listing potential templates I can replicate, and then I'm gonna fill out those templates in order to create way more videos. I made Pokemon most popular challenge possible. Okay, that's I made a modifier. I made condition modifier impossible. That's an example. Pokemon but so yeah, game but modifier. This is something so okay. Memories of a lost Pokemon region. This is island. That's good. Documentary videos, always the best. Memories of blank name of the thing, or retrospective, or iceberg explained. Now I'm citing potential ideas on top of my head because I've been in this niche for a long time. Therefore, I have all the different ideas flowing in my mind. Basically, if you repeat this kind of exercise over and over and over, it's gonna become like a second skin for you, and you're gonna be able to perform naturally. I don't really need to do this process over and over. I just have to make it a little in much less time because I'm trained to do it, basically. So what you need to do now is just do what I'm doing here, find out big ideas, create potential templates that I created here, and then fill them out. You should aim for at least 5 videos per template, potentially 10x videos per template. And then go to record, you slacker. So that's it for this video. Of course, you can find the, I think this video is gonna be public for sure. Therefore, you can find the membership link if you want more educational videos on gaming content creation. I provide, I think, one of the highest education level for gaming content creation in my Patreon down there. It's a couple of bucks a month. It's really a steal for now. I don't know how long it's gonna be there. Basically, my Patreon is just to motivate me to create content, educational content for the gaming niche, for the gaming content creation niche, of course. YouTube gurus will make you pay this kind of information like $1,000. I'm not right now, and there is much more content in my membership for like $22 a month or so. $22 if I remember correctly a month. So basically 2 Starbucks. You're basically paying me 2 Starbucks. Okay. So enjoy this video and repeat it over and over and over. That's it from me.